When asked whether she sees Tesla growing 10x or 100x, the exceptionally bright CTO and co-founder of a rapidly growing AI-intensive Greentech startup contemplated. 10x? No. 100x? 1000x? 10,000x? Unlimited, really. We can't even grasp how big they can get. You know, it's hard to imagine because we never had anything this big in our entire history. This size is from the future. Hey guys, welcome to Connecting the Dots, the podcast where we follow the breadcrumbs and try to predict where disruptions will take us. Tell me, how bullish are you on Tesla? How much do you think the stock should be worth several years from now? You might be slightly bullish and think Tesla will rise from the current $700 range to $1,000 or $2,000. Or maybe you're Cathie Wood bullish and think Tesla will grow 4x in a few years to $3,000. Or you could be a mega bull like Warren Redlick, Steve and Mark Ryan, and recently Dave Lee, and see Tesla making lots of robotaxis, storage, and maybe bots to reach 50x or even 100x in 2030. No matter which kind of bull you are, and whatever your price target, Gordon Johnson and Tesla Q will dismiss anything you say, just because to them we are all Teslemmings drinking Elon's Kool-Aid and deluding ourselves. Whatever. I'm done with trying to teach flies that honey is better than and I just try to enjoy the dips they arrange for us. But what if I told you that someone who isn't a Tesla bull now sees Tesla going to the moon and beyond? That an outlier AI CTO, based on professional analysis alone, now sees cars, storage, and even robotaxis as mere pocket change compared to what Tesla could be worth? And what if I told you that AI Day changed that person's view on Tesla stock from just a good stock to own to a must-buy? A generational stock like no other before it, and that she and her colleagues are quietly hoarding as many stocks as they can. If I seem excited, that's because I am. If I had conviction in Tesla before, now it's a brand new story, and I'm constantly checking for ways to buy more and more Tesla shares myself. My wife and I even canceled a planned vacation because putting it in Tesla stocks could mean 1,000 vacations later. But I'm running ahead of myself. So here's the bottom line, after which I'll go into deets. My close friend is the CTO and co-founder of an AI-intensive, fast-growing Greentech company. She's also extremely bright, planned 10 years ahead, outstanding in execution, and very often compared to Elon. More importantly, she has a unique view and internal knowledge on the world of AI and the direction it's going. She's previously liked Tesla and recommended the cars and stocks to friends and family, but until AI Day, owned very few stocks herself, if any. Following AI Day, though, she sees Tesla becoming the largest company in the world by far, one that will dwarf Apple or any other company we know. In this video, I explain why. From her point of view, the implications of AI Day are so deep that as a private investor, she started hoarding Tesla stocks. And even more telling, as CTO of a private tech company, they are, quote, bracing the company for an imminent tsunami, and completely changing the company's long-term plans due to AI Day. It's that big. I'll talk a lot about Tesla's future growth and valuation, and where I think the stock will go, but I'm only bringing you my friend's opinion and mine. I'm just a random guy on the internet, and none of this is investment advice, so do your own research before making any investment decisions. Also, if you're looking for short-term stock trading, just leave, because this post is for long-term investing only. I don't believe in trading. If you haven't done that already, please subscribe to the channel and smash the like button to support it. It really helps the channel. Also consider supporting me on Patreon for as low as $1 a month. It'll really help me invest more time into delivering more quality content faster. And now comes the part where I tell you to buckle up and get ready because disruption is never boring. But this time, remember to hold on extra tight because we're in for a plaid-level ride, and nothing is faster than plaid. I'll show things as they happened, but if you're impatient or know how things rolled out, I put timestamps in the comments below, so just jump to the section marked The Interview. For starters, let me introduce Elon's smallest but fiercest competitor. My close friend is co-founder and CTO of a green tech company based in Germany and the United States. This by itself isn't unusual because many of us have friends who made it in tech, and I know other people who are also extremely successful. But this friend is very different. I want to get to the news first, so I'll discuss her in the second part of this video. But for now, all you need to know are the following points. She's extremely high IQ. Statistically, she should be among the few dozen highest IQ people living today. IQ can work both ways, but the pros are she's extraordinarily quick and deep thinking. I'm pretty bright myself, but she just about dwarfs me. She is Chief Technology Officer of a Greentech company that she co-founded. They are privately funded, fast on their way to unicorn status, and are currently moving their operations from Germany to the USA. Her company is heavily reliant on AI. She takes pride in hiring the best of what she calls AI designers. Unlike most of us, she knows what the market for AI professionals is like and where it's going. And she sees Elon as a competitor. Before you burst out laughing on that last one, let me explain. On August 2020, Elon visited II.V in Germany, and I asked my friend that lives a few hours away if she would try meeting him. Her CEO is well connected, and I'm certain she could pull this through if she wanted to. As smart as my friend is, she just couldn't grasp my point and said, if I ever want to collaborate with him, then sure, but otherwise, why would I go meet with a competitor? It's a waste of both of our time. I just about died laughing. Her company was very small and anyway operates in a different market. So how megalomaniac is she that she sees herself as Elon's competitor? She quietly waited, and when I stopped laughing, very seriously explained that I just don't get it. They're not competing for customers. They are competing for talent, for AI designers. One of her best guys already left her for Tesla Fremont, and when Tesla announced that it was coming to Germany, she initially saw this as a real threat. But she's not afraid of competition and knows how to fight, so she mustered up and found a convincing way to win some of the best guys ahead of Tesla. I'll show this later, but the bottom line is that there are very few exceptional AI people. She wants them every bit as much as Tesla does, and she's willing to fight hard for each one, even against Tesla. She's right, they certainly are competitors. Which brings us back to AI Day and her Facebook rant. My friend has an obfuscated Facebook account where she talks freely with her friends about music and stuff without risking any of her professional contacts finding it's her. She opened that Facebook years before co-founding her company. Very few of her friends there are into tech, and she uses it to hang out and vent. By weird coincidence, the day after AI Day, Facebook sent her a nice memory from the year before. The memory was of an August 20, 2020 post, where she shared how in 2019 she tried persuading her mother to invest in Tesla stock, which she knew would soon rise. Her mom refused, but later thought it through, and just because my friend is, quote, a genius, she decided to invest anyway, and without telling my friend, put all her retirement funds on Tesla stock. That was at $43 split adjusted. So on August 20, 2020, my friend wrote how her mom 9x'd her retirement funds, and when my friend found out and suggested that maybe she should take at least some profit, her mother just hissed at her, like Gollum protecting Precious. I remember reading elsewhere how her mom bought a Tesla Model 3, got all her friends to invest in Tesla, and their meetings have become something of a German ladies Elon Musk fan club. Hilarious. Anyway, the day after AI Day, she posted that memory and said that her mom was right for hissing at her back then, because despite the current downturn, her mom is now 16x on her retirement. And this brings us to the meat of it all, AI Day. A friend told her that her mom should take some profits, but she said no chance, her mother won't do that. It went on a bit, and then she said that her mom was thinking very long term, so she is right to keep hodling stocks. And now, listen to this. I gotta add that after AI Day, chances are they will grow far, far higher than I previously thought. And this started a rant. She is in competition with Tesla and the very best employers for top AI people. She previously found a way to win the brightest away from Tesla, but after AI Day, she stands no chance. It's now just a matter of how many excellent people Tesla wants to hire, and all other companies will have to fight for the leftovers. She spoke of the difference between good people and exceptional ones. With 50 good engineers, she'll do worse than with 2 outstanding ones. I'll talk more on this later, but to put it into perspective, think Andrei Karpathy. It's clear that FSD wouldn't be where it is without him. And yes, my friend's company hires people of that caliber. She cherry-picks them and proactively approaches them with job offers, tailored around their capabilities and their personalities. She was finally in a great position where she could get the best, and AI Day tore it all apart because Tesla will soon become the place to be. She added that if she didn't have her own company to lead, she would have gone herself to work for Tesla. Reading this, I asked if it was okay to post this on my Twitter. She agreed, and to my surprise, even encouraged me to do so. The rant was part of her thinking process, and she said that Twitter comments could outsource the thinking and provide fresh ideas, somewhat like brainstorming. As we'll see later, she knew what she was talking about, and it certainly helped. So I tweeted it, and got many comments. Most comments were nice, but some treated Tesla as if it's the Holy Grail. One guy even suggested that my friend has to decide whether she wants to move things or own a company, because if it's the former, then she should join Tesla, but if it's the latter, she should own a lawn mowing company. Knowing her capabilities, I balked at the nerve of someone saying this to her. To me, this was as if someone suggested to a younger Elon to either go work for Netscape or own a lawn mowing company. But she just soaked this in as helpful input. I asked if she could go deeper with me on how she sees AI Day, so she agreed and then posted this on her Facebook. Brace yourself. Serious this time. My friend, connecting the dots, asked if I could do a recap on my rant. So, announcing, I will soon do a Q&A on one of the most underappreciated events in this century. I am not you. Prepare to be amazed. My friend does not normally use such superlatives, so this means a lot. She then added a teaser. Her CEO and co-founder is an ex-Microsoft VP. She's very bright, too. So after AI Day, my friend asked her for her thoughts, and her CEO said that it would be great if Tesla offered Dojo as a service, so they could train their nets on it. From that, my friend understood that her CEO just read some headlines about the event and hadn't actually watched it. So my friend sent her Lex Fridman's AI Day summary and told her to watch it both 2 points of view. That if one of their best AI guys and that of an investor. In other words, she asked her partner to check how it would affect their top employees and also what this means as a potential investment opportunity. From here on, let's read what she wrote. The number of f***s the CEO muttered while watching could make her New York upbringing blush. When it ended, she said, "Okay, what do we do now? For our business, we're making plans that will let us surf a fucking tsunami instead of drowning in it. For our business, it means either insane growth or dwindling. And as investors, we're selling everything that we can to invest in Chome. I joke that the stock went up this week just because of my CEO's buying." Whoa, there's a lot to unpack here. First, it shows that her CEO wasn't aware of AI Day, but once she watched it, it really shook her. My friend says it'll be the same everywhere. Most people in AI space aren't aware of AI Day yet. But this will change in time and will bring a tsunami of changes. Also, they fear that their best AI people would leave them for Tesla, and that finding new ones of the same caliber would be difficult. On the flip side, judged as an investment, they see nothing else like it. And finally, she called Tesla Chome, which in Frank Herbert's book, Dune, is the name of the largest company ever. It's one huge company which controls all trade in the universe, and calling Tesla that way means that my friend sees Tesla becoming larger than Apple, Google, Facebook, and anything else we know, combined. Have you read something like this on Twitter? I'm sure you'd be commenting and retweeting it like mad, but her Facebook is filled with non-techies who don't follow Tesla, and so this earth-shattering post didn't get a single like, comment, or reposting, so my friend took a different approach. She posted this picture of Maitland Ward, a sexy redhead actor and adult film star, and wrote, "And now that I have your attention, I rarely post serious stuff here, but soon there will be an exception. My friend wants my professional opinion on an event from last week that, in my honest opinion, will be remembered in history as the first sign of a huge turning point for mankind. No less. I'll post a link. Some of you could be interested, but honestly, we all should." Never mind the type of comments that she got this time. She definitely got noticed. At this point, I was dying to talk with her. I prepared some questions and waited for her to free up some time for me. When it came, the call held more than I had hoped for. After a brief catching up, I dove into the questions. I asked her to sum AI Day for me in one sentence. She answered, it was brilliant. Absolutely f***ing brilliant. I asked her to elaborate. The reason she said it was brilliant wasn't the tech. She can talk about that later. But if I ask her about any event, she has to judge it by the metrics of how well it served the reasons for throwing it. In this case, recruiting top AI professionals. And AI Day was absolutely f***ing brilliant. Because although right now it isn't well known, the word is spreading, and there's buzz on professional forums, so people watch it, and just about anyone who watches it would be dying to work there. And even if someone doesn't see it, but Tesla cherry picks them, all Tesla needs to do is send them a link, and they'll be sold. Tesla wants to hire the best people, and AI Day will give them that. It was absolutely f***ing brilliant. The conversation jumped across topics, but I'll try to reorganize it here in a few sections. And the first is hiring, or rather that Tesla is about to break the global AI designer piggy bank. I said that she treats Tesla hiring good people as a problem for the AI scene. How much of a problem is it? She said it's a huge problem. There's huge demand for AI programmers, and although supply is constantly growing, it's not growing nearly as fast as demand is. And that's in AI, guys, general. The problem gets bigger if you want good or even exceptional AI designers. There simply aren't enough, and this matters. To help me understand what she means, she gave me an example. Imagine AI guys are like drivers, and you need one to take you from London to Paris. Most AI people are noobs, fresh from their studies, and you need to guide them a lot. Remind them that in England they have to drive on the left, but once in France they need to stick to the right, etc. Fewer than this are competent professionals who can get you safely from London to Paris. They won't necessarily take the quickest or best route, but they'll get you there. And there are even fewer really good AI designers. These are like cab drivers and a race driver combined. They'll find the quickest way out of town, zoom along the roads, and enable you to arrive quickly. Not many people are like this, and all the top companies want them, and Tesla will take as many of these as they want. She let it soak in, and then added that Tesla will take a lot of really good ones, but they're not the ones she's mostly concerned about. What worries her most are the rare exceptional ones. If real good ones are cabbies and race driver mongrels that find the best roads and drive on them faster than anyone else, the exceptional outliers are something completely different. They are like fighter pilots waiting for you in a VTOL fighter. Know where you want to go before you finish saying it, and then take you there in a quick, straight line that they carved themselves. For example, think Karpathy and the progress he brought to Tesla. She said that getting exceptional AI designers is a huge problem, and even getting very good ones is hard. She suggested that if I want to get really rich, I should write some AI that locates exceptional AI designers earlier than current headhunting, and then refer these guys to her and to other companies for a finder's fee, whether they sign up or not. Whomever makes such AI will make a killing on commissions. Anyway, she worked hard to get to a position where she can get people like that to work for her, and AI Days made it clear that this will soon change. She then elaborated on why she thinks exceptional ones will go to Tesla. By her, Tesla fans think that everybody knows Tesla, but that's far from true, and those who know it mostly think of it as an EV company, not an AI one. Currently, most AI guys don't even think about Tesla. But once the word gets out about Battery Day, just about everyone will be dying to work there. I asked if she thinks the word is really getting out. She said she knows it is. There are discussions on AI Day in forums. AI Day is polarizing, so dismissing those who haven't watched it yet, everyone neatly falls into one of two groups. Those who say, nothing new, nothing special, it's all smoke and mirrors. And those who are smitten and awestruck. She said most haters don't know AI. And she's not saying it based on their opinion, but because everyone she saw in that camp, everyone, is a wannabe without any prominent publications or street cred. Everyone who's half respected in AI is deeply impressed and probably dying to work there. I asked whether we will soon see Tesla hiring thousands of the top AI guys in the world. She said that I missed the point and reminded me of something she previously said, that with 2 exceptional guys, she could get better results faster than with 50 really good guys. She has no idea how many people Tesla will want, but it's very clear that they will want extremely good AI guys, and that Tesla just became extremely attractive to these guys. There's scarcity in hiring exceptionals, so if Tesla hires 100 of the best 500 AI designers, plus many other very good ones, this would be a quantum leap in Tesla's capabilities, and a huge blow to what other companies can get. Tesla will be a powerhouse, while other companies will have to fight for the others. I asked whether this includes Google and Facebook, and she laughed. What do you think? She said that there are many precedents of companies having the best engineers and scientists in the world, working on a mission under very focused management, and these companies made huge leaps over their competition. For example, during World War II, the best engineers on both sides joined the aviation industry, and the war kept it laser-focused, so both rockets and planes made huge strides. So maybe this example isn't the best because it was spread in an entire industry, but it shows what having the best engineers working for a mission can do. And AI is a force multiplier. It's extremely exponential. So if Tesla makes huge leaps in AI, there's a good chance they will never get caught. I said she referred to Tesla as chom and asked her to elaborate. How much does she see Tesla growing? 10x? 100x? She said in a contemplating tone, and I quote, 10x? No. 100x? 1000x? 10,000x? Unlimited, really. We can't even grasp how big they can get. You know, it's hard to imagine because we never had anything this big in our entire history. That's why I called them chom. It's the only thing I could compare them to, so that people would get how big this size is from the future. It's science fiction. So the second topic we'll deal with is how big Tesla will get. With such a huge outlook, I asked her to explain what makes her believe that Tesla will grow this much. Before giving her answer, I'd like to add that recently, a few guys on Tesla Twitter started getting the idea that Tesla and the entire global economy could have endless growth because of the bot offering an endless stream of labor. Shout out to Stephen Mark Ryan, Dave Lee, and Bruce Burnsworth. But besides my friend saying this right after AI Day, try to notice how for her, the bot is only one piece of the puzzle. She also gave another reason, and the interplay of both is astounding. So here's what she said. They'll grow that big because it's capitalism 101, owning the means of production. Capitalism was formed when there were fewer jobs than potential workers, so it focused on how capital, or money, lets you own the machines and factories, which were the limiting factor of production. If at the time there was a surplus of machines and not enough workers, labor would become the limiting factor of production, and capital would enable you to hire workers for your machines. While your competitors' machines remain idle. Capital lets you have both machines and workers, but the idea remains the same. Those who own all limiting factors of production win over those who don't. Most people don't realize it yet, but the economy is becoming heavily dependent on AI. Everything will soon have AI. Your smartphone, your car, your fridge and washing machine, and even your kids' toys. But only a few realize the shortage there is in good AI designers. So sure, even low-rent AI engineers can make simple toys, but for advanced stuff, you need real smart designers, and there is a huge shortage in them. She then told me that she feels that every time she mentions AI hiring pains, I get anxious and want to get back to Tesla. So I should bear with her. She has a point, and it's not just her thinking this. It is a huge problem worldwide, and it directly relates to why Tesla will succeed. Going back to quoting her, there is a global shortage in AI designers, and they are becoming the limiting factor of production. Continuing the capitalism argument, this means that those who are able to get good AI people will win. Now tell me, do you know how many people are in Tesla's AI team? I told her the vision team is about 20 guys. Okay, I guess we can agree at least some of them are exceptional. Now imagine there were 2 Tesla companies starting work on FSD at the same time. And the only difference between these companies is that Tesla A has 20 exceptional AI designers, including Karpathy, while Tesla B only has 1 exceptional guy, which isn't Karpathy, plus anything between 20 to 2,000 very good engineers. I have no doubt that Tesla B could succeed someday, but Tesla A would be years ahead of Tesla B on FSD, and will reach it at a fraction of the cost. Tesla B would become irrelevant. That's why I said AI designers are becoming the limiting factor. Before AI Day, Tesla was a small magnet for AI talent because most people didn't even know it was an AI company, and those that did perceived it as a car company before all. Tesla's magnet was small, and other companies have magnets too. Google has them, I have them, we all have our magnets. So outliers often preferred working at a pure software play like Google, or do something sexy to save the planet like we're doing here. But things have changed. Tesla slammed its magnet to the ground midfield, and made a magnet much denser, and it will soon start pulling talent from all around. And the more they pull, the denser they will be. So there's even a risk of it turning into a black hole that sucks up any talent they have their sights on. Google and Facebook, and even us, will all manage to get some great talent, but as a whole, Tesla will be a quantum leap ahead of everyone. They don't need to take too much. Just getting 100 of the best 500 AI designers worldwide to work with a mission will make them unbeatable. Add to that they will probably train their networks on the best training computer, and really, nobody will catch them. It is very clear that Tesla is adamant on becoming the leading AI company in solving artificial general intelligence, AGI. This means a lot to anyone working in AI, so Tesla will get the cream of the crop. It goes like this. A. Tesla will own better talent than others, so it will win AI and it will win capitalism. B. A lot of that AI effort will go to the bot project, and they will also have the best training platform with Dojo, so they might be first with bot. I have no idea what their sales strategy will be, but my guess is at first they'll use it internally in their plants, then later sell it for specific purposes, such as a factory worker, and it will take some time before they finally sell a GP bot. You don't need a fully intelligent robot to do factory work. You just need it to learn specific tasks, so that should come first. Factory bots have an infinite total addressable market because each one is worth the total expenses on 3 shifts of workers 24/7 for several years, or much more if it works faster. And you can get them to do jobs you couldn't do before. There really are no limits. This is CHOAM. By the way, everyone looks forward for the GP bot that will walk their dog and take care of their parents, but listen carefully to what Elon said the bot is for. From what he said, it's clear that the bot is for stuff like factories, mining, and Mars. I have no doubt that a healthcare and groceries bot could arrive down the road, but the focus is elsewhere. Now, guys, listen carefully to the next one, quoting her again. By the way, your Elon always talks about speeding up the pace of the production line, which is currently moving at speeds set when Henry Ford was in charge. It's the pace humans can do stuff. But imagine how fast the line could go if robots thread wires and install dashboards twice as fast, or maybe 10 times as fast as humans. And you don't even need smart robots for that. I have no idea how many cars their plants can currently make, but choose a factor and multiply to start spitting cars out at speed. There are huge gains for Tesla Auto. But I'm diverging. Even if it sells all the cars in the world, Tesla Auto is small change compared to the other stuff. C. What I said about the bot seems a bit static, as in, they make an obedient bot, then a smart bot, then a GP bot, and that's it. But in fact, it's far from that. There is also a flywheel effect, because having the best AI team means far more than just being first with robot. It also means having more capable robots down the road, and it lets you do other stuff, such as develop other kinds of AI. The robot is about perceiving the world and knowing what to do in every situation. But they can also develop AGI thinking machines, either stationary or in robot, to enhance decision-making. Initial robots can replace line workers, but AGI will enable replacing engineers and even management. They'll even replace the AI engineers. It's alien Dreadnaught on steroids. AI designing even better AI and even better factories which are unmanned by robots. Tesla could end up with a semi-monopoly on AI, on production means, and even the production means of production means. Sure, all this is extremely down the road, but even the first portion, which will happen soon, can be a complete game changer. Drilling it down to Tesla stock and descending probabilities, they will become a much stronger AI company. Long term, this should send the stock to the moon. If they own AI, this should send the stock to Mars. If they are first with useful bots, it will take them to the edge of the solar system. And if they win thinking machines, this will make the NASDAQ irrelevant. There will be only Tesla or CHOAM. I asked her what probabilities she sees for these scenarios. She said the chances for the scenarios are being a world-class force in AI, over 90%. It's a done deal. Owning AI as a semi-monopoly ahead of others, 50%. Bots and AGI thinking machines, who knows, probably 20% or maybe 10%, but even a 1% chance on infinity makes this an irresistible long-term investment. And then she added that these numbers are gut feelings, but toned down a lot to be on the conservative side. Her gut feeling, which she learned to trust, is that everything up to bots and AGI is almost a done deal, because it's not just about having the best AI designers. Quoting her again, getting the best AI people is one thing, but Tesla are also laser-focused and committed. It's a bit like how Blue Origin are dawdling while SpaceX quickly deliver. Having the best AI team, running with focus and commitment, is unbeatable. So assuming Elon is okay and nothing bad happens, she knows they'll do the impossible, and it's almost a done deal. With investments at stake, I asked her whether we're just having a bullshit theoretical talk, or should I trust these numbers? Taken back, she said she's dead serious about it, and nothing she told me is bullshit theory. This is real. I shouldn't trust any of her numbers. They're only based on gut feelings she had after AI Day, and she's not giving any financial advice. However, she also has another set of numbers that she can't give me, because they reached it after putting in a lot of work. The leadership team of her company all watched AI Day several times, both separately and together, analyzed and brainstormed the hell out of everything, and came up with a set of probabilities high enough that they are about to bet the entire future of their company on Tesla succeeding in making the bot and possibly AGI. If Tesla succeeds, her company will be huge, but if Tesla fails, they'll be smaller than where previous plans could have taken them. To explain this leap of faith, she turned the table on me and started asking me a few questions. Listen up, this one is huge. She asked me, what is Elon most obsessed with? I answered, efficiency, which wasn't what she expected. So to speed things up, she spoon-fed me. What does Tesla Automotive cherish more than making the car itself? I answered that it's making the machine that makes the machine. She said, and I quote, right. And more important than that is the machine that makes the machine that makes the machine, etc. But let's define make. Everyone's thinking about the robot as replacing line workers and healthcare providers for the elderly, etc. And some realize there's a huge market for that. If they're smart, they'll also see that robots replacing humans in the factory makes the factory itself an alien Dreadnaught, a fully automated machine that takes in supplies and spits out cars. But that's still a small part of the Pandora's box that Tesla plans to open. I repeat, a small part. I talked about AI designers enabling Tesla to win the race. You asked me why I call them designers instead of engineers or developers like everyone else does, and I'm sure you assume that it's because I put the design part as most important. True, but that's only part of it. And the real answer is that just like high-end handbags, AI is currently a designer product. You need talented people to work hard for many hours to produce results. Even mediocre designers can produce very nice handbags, but it takes the ultra-gifted ones, like at Louis Vuitton, to consistently design extremely beautiful handbags, a few rungs above everyone else. I used Louis Vuitton as an example because I heard their owner just became the world's richest man. But honestly, I have no idea how good these bags are. So if you quote me, maybe ask my wife who makes the best bags nowadays and use that instead. Anyway, back on topic. Just like handbags, exceptionally gifted designers are hard to find, and so every company, Tesla included, is limited by the number of great designers they can get. No, wait. Let's broaden it now from AI design to other fields. Tesla is also limited by the number of great non-AI engineers they can get, the number of great car designers they get, etc. No matter how hard these guys work, there's only so much work that each can do. But you always say that you're waiting for GPT-N to make GPT-N+1. And this is what I'm talking about. If Elon gets the best AI team, then sure, they will work on a bot to replace line workers. But they will also work on AI that will replace engineers, car designers, and even AI designers. And I'm betting on Tesla because you know my saying that if you don't set your 10-year goals and plan for them, you sure as hell aren't going to achieve them. Tesla has a track record in this. Tesla was the only company to plan on mass-producing EVs 10 years later, and they reached that. And they are one of a few companies to plan on autonomous driving, and will soon reach that too. Now it plans on making the bot, and I'm pretty sure that also AGI, so they're in a good position to achieve that. Now ask yourself these two questions. 1. Look back on your own work and think, what percentage of your work as an engineer, and I know you're exceptional, could someday be done better by AI? And 2, which company is most likely to try to automate parts of its engineering effort, with AI first serving as a huge force multiplier for its engineers, and later possibly replacing them altogether? She left it open so it would sink in, and we moved on. But here are my answers. For the first question, I've worked in various kinds of engineering. My major is in aerospace materials and structures. I did aerodynamic design and analysis. I wrote software in lots of projects. I developed simulations and simulation infrastructure. I led the development of large systems, and I currently do systems and process engineering. I've worked with a lot of average engineers, and with several extremely talented ones, and I have no doubt in my mind that it's just a matter of time before AI could replace a large part of the work involved and do it better than an average engineer. But if we follow Tim Urban's amazing graph from Wait But Why, it's just an eye blink later till AI can do these tasks far better than even the most talented engineers the world has ever seen. This will start with a few aspects of the job, what she referred to as AI being a huge force multiplier for engineers, and then progress to all aspects of engineering. And to the second question, which company is most likely to go full blast on automating its engineering effort? That's Tesla. As my friend pointed, Tesla doesn't just want to produce the machine that makes the machine that makes the machine, they also want to automate the design of everything. After all, a true alien Dreadnaught isn't just an automation that forever spits out the same outdated designs. It is a living AI organism that constantly collects data and constantly makes new and updated designs for whatever it spits out. Some of you might raise an eyebrow and say that AI can't really be creative and will never be able to tackle the problem-solving engineering requires. But that would be wrong. Consider the following example. When you cool gas, you get liquid. And when you cool liquid, you get solid. But what happens when you cool solid? The answer is that you get cold solid. But if you keep on cooling towards absolute zero, you get a fourth state of matter, called the Bose-Einstein condensate. In this condensate, all atoms clump together and reach the same energy state. Bose and Einstein predicted it in 1925, but since reaching near zero is hard, this remained a theory. In 1976, 4 groups set out to prove this theory by experiment, using multiple laser beams to hit electrons and slow them down till near zero velocity, which means near zero temperature. But it took till 1995 till success was reached, reaching near zero temperatures and observing that the condensate had indeed formed. In 2001, the 3 scientists who reached it, Cornell, Wieman, and Ketterl, were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics. This was an impressive milestone, but in 2016, an Australian group of researchers handed a similar laser setup to AI and ordered it to reach near zero. In less than 1 hour, the AI managed to create a condensate, and did so in ways that engineers and scientists hadn't even thought of, such as oscillating the power of one laser up and down, while compensating for it with another laser. So years of employing excellent scientists and engineer shrunken down to 1 hour of 2016 era AI, which is nowadays considered downright ancient. So yeah, Elon has huge incentive to create AI that bolsters his company's engineering efforts and ultimately replaces them. I'm pretty sure Elon has this in sight with AI Day, and that if he succeeds, growing the company to tackle greater problems and make better designs would only mean installing the AI on another server and setting it free. So farther down the road, Tesla could make the ultimate Dreadnaught. A bit sooner, they will make the bot and win AI. The talk was long, so I'm splitting it into 2 parts, and now is a good time to stop this one. In the next video, we'll go into stock price and investment implications. We'll discuss Elon, Tesla, and the bot. We'll discuss how Dojo could be a game changer and whether it will. I'll give her opinion on whether Tesla will produce their own chips. She makes a compelling argument. We'll show risks Tesla faces, including global political ones, and I don't mean China. I will share what I know about how my friend's company plans to surf the Tesla AI tsunami rather than drown in it. I will tell you whatever she lets me say about her, so that she won't remain a complete enigma, and much more. And back to this part. What do you think? Is my friend right, or is she wrong? Will semi-intelligent robots enable Tesla's production lines to work 2 times, or maybe 10 times faster than they currently are? Will Tesla win the race for truly intelligent robots, or will others, like Boston Dynamics, get there first? Will Tesla grow to be the largest company the world has ever known? Will it develop artificial general intelligence, or will others, like OpenAI, beat it to it? Will it be able to churn out alien Dreadnaught factory, manned by robots and spitting out cars? And will machines ultimately replace engineers and AI developers, on top of production bots? Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your opinions and insights, and I read all your comments. In addition, I'll try to send her some questions before making the second part of the video, so if you have any questions that you'd like me to ask her, just write them in the comments below and start your words with "question" in capital letters. I'll do my best to get it answered. If you found this video interesting, please like and subscribe to help me start growing the channel and to get notified on the second part of this video. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon for as low as $1 a month. It'll really help me invest more time so I can deliver quality content faster. So if you want to support the channel, you can head over to patreon.com, and together we can make this channel grow. A huge thank you to my new Patreons, Ronald M. Harrison, Katrin L., and Ken Trudel. I truly appreciate your support. Feel free to contact me and follow me on Twitter, where I am Connecting No Dots. I really appreciate your being here. It means a lot. Till next time, I am Connecting the Dots, and you are amazing.